Hi guys, welcome to In 5 Minutes. In the disk scheduling algorithms, the next thing which we'll be understanding is a read-write access for a disk. In a typical disk formation, the reading-writing involves three latencies to talk about. Let's try to understand in detail. Consider in the current scenario, the read-write head is available over here currently, and what we intend to read is this red sector. The first thing you'll be going through is something which we call as seek latency. Seek latency. What exactly seek latency is? It's a process of moving read write head from this location to back. Why? Because it's a process of taking read write head in the track where read write is supposed to perform. In our case, the read write is supposed to be performed in the last track. So we are talking about one simple thing is getting head back and reaching to the track where reading writing is to be performed. The second set of latency which we have is called rotational latency. What do you mean by rotational latency? After reaching to the track where we are supposed to perform read write, the next job is to move disk in a counterclockwise direction in order to get the desired track below the head. Now as you can see in the other diagram, we are supposed to read this. So obvious, we have to rotate the entire disk from this to this area. So that would get our this particular track and sector below read write head. The third thing which we have is transfer latency. Now this transfer latency works in a simple way. After seek latency and rotational latency, third and the last latency is transfer latency. It is the time taken for reading first bit from the desired track and finishing it. So basically after reaching to this point, we would be starting read write, and that would take some time for reading down and coming back to the last area. So together, if we try to understand, suppose we are supposed to read this red sector, what we would do is first to get our head on the track where particular sector is to be read, called as the seek. After reaching to the track, next thing what we are supposed to do is to rotate, that is rotation latency, and after getting it below read write head, start trying to read, that is the transfer latency. Taking this in a technical way, we have three things to talk on. As we have said, seek latency. As we say, seek latency. Seek latency works with the similar time to position head over cylinder containing target sector. I'm saying the track and the cylinder, one and the same stuff. The second is a rotational latency, time waiting for the first bit of target sector to pass under read write head. Similarly, we have a transfer time, is a time to read the bit in the target sector. Generally, each of them has a separate formula for calculation. For instance, average rotational latency can be calculated by half into 1 by revolution per second into 60 seconds for 1 minute. Similarly, it has a typical around 7200 RPM for most of the current hard disks. Similarly, we can provide average transfer time with the help of the formula 1 by revolution per minute, 1 by average of into sector per track into 60 by 1 minute. So basically, to talk about one entire stuff, this would be further used in terms of calculation and sums to predict latency times as well as to predict amount of data that can be stored in it. Thanks for watching this video.